Hi there, welcome to video number 189. This one is on pictograms. Now a pictogram is a visual representation of some data. We use a picture to represent a certain number of things. To draw one, you need to choose a picture that represents that certain number of things, and you need to tell someone via the key how much each picture is worth. And then in interpreting one, you will need to understand the key, and you might need to figure out how much each picture represents from the words that are given to you in the question, and then fill in the rest of the pictogram. Okay, so they can get a bit tricky, but in essence, very simple and intuitive to begin with. So, Winston plays basketball in question number 1. He practices 4 days a week. The pictogram shows how many hours he does over the 4 days. Which day does he do 4 hours practice? Looking at the key, we can see one basketball is worth 2 hours. So we're looking for the day where there are 2 basketballs. That would mean 4 hours worth of practice. 2 hours, 4 hours. Very clearly, it is Sunday. So Sunday is what we write down. If I can spell Sunday, which I can. Then we've got how many hours does he do in total. Now that means we have to add up all of these basketballs. So 2 hours, 4 hours, half a basketball is going to be worth half of this, 2. So that is half of 2, which is 1. So 2, 4, 5. 5 hours in that particular day, which is Saturday. Monday is worth 2 hours, and Tuesday it's a little bit trickier, but if we split it again, we've got 2 hours there, then we've got this half a basketball which is worth 1 hour, and half again of that 1 hour is worth half an hour, so that's worth 3.5 hours. Okay, so take your time on it, make sure you're not making any mistakes, add it all up. It's going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.5 hours. So 14.5 hours is what I'm going to put as my answer. Okay, moving on to question 2, slightly more tricky question. The pictogram shows that £20 was collected on Monday and £85 on Tuesday. Complete the pictogram if 45 on Wednesday, 90 on Thursday was collected. Now there's no key for this one, so we're going to have to use the pictures we've got in there already to figure it out and the words that we were given. So you can use Monday here. £20, half of a whole note is worth £20. So the whole note is going to be worth 2 of those 20s, and that's going to obviously be 40. Okay, so we've worked out the key. Let's see if that works for Tuesday. £40, £40, and then this is representing the £5. Right, if we imagine the rest of that note to be in there, we've got another one of those, right, another one of those, another one of those. That's taking us up to £20, and then we've got the rest of the note there, which again we can split into 4. So we've got 1/8 of the whole thing, right, which represents our £85. That does make sense. So this little 1/8 of the whole note does work for our £5, which we need for Wednesday because we've got £45 to represent. So I'm going to draw a whole note, try and get it about the same size. Just draw the little circle bit in the middle. That'll do to represent the whole note, 40, and then we'll draw this little bit up here for the £5. So there's our £45 represented in pictures, and then £90. We've got 90 made by doing 40, 40, and then 10. So we're going to get a 40 and a 40, and we're going to draw the little circles in there to show they're the whole notes. And then we want 2 of these little bits, right, which would be a quarter of the note, right? So we could just show that with like a little dotted line or something. If you had enough space there, you got 2 of those 8ths, which gives you 1/4 in total, right? So it's a little bit trickier because we didn't have the key, but it was fairly easy to work out from the words in the question. Now let's have a look at the third and final question, which may well be quite tricky because there's a lot of words in this one. The pictogram shows some information about the colour of sweets in a bag. There are twice as many red sweets than green sweets. There's our first bit of key bit of information. There are 40% more white sweets than blue sweets, right? Okay, well that's good because we've actually got the blue sweets there, and we can work out how many there are represented. So we can work out the white sweets then. We couldn't do anything with this information to begin with. And then there are 6 more red sweets than white sweets. We then need to complete the pictogram. Alright, so I'm going to write the number of blue sweets down represented by these pictures. 12 sweets, 1 whole circle, so that's going to be 12. That's another 12, and this is half of the circle, so that's obviously they're going to be 6. 12, 12, and 6 gives you 24 and 30. Okay, The total amount of sweets that is blue is 30. Then we can jump to this statement here. There are 40% more white sweets than blue. So we're going to have to work out what 40% is and add it on to 30. The way we do that is find 10%. So to find 10%, if you're not sure, watch the percentage of quantities videos that I've made in the ratio and proportion section. But 10% is found by dividing by 10. So I'm going to write down 10% equals 3. And then I'm going to find that 40% is 4 lots of 10%. 4 of those. So 4 times 3 is 12. And then I'm going to add that on because there's 12 more white sweets. So that is going to be 42 white sweets. If I was representing that in pictures, I would go 12, 12, that gets me to 24, then to 36 if you know your times tables. And then I need to add another 6 on. So that's a half of a circle. So half a circle, and there's my 42 represented in the pictogram. Then I can jump to this statement here. There are 6 more red sweets than white sweets. So 6 more than 42 is 48. Add it on. And then that's going to be 4 whole circles. 1, 2, 3, 4 whole circles. Because 4 times 12 is 48. And then the green one, there are twice as many red than green, right? So we're having to half 48 to get 24. And then we're going to draw 2 circles for that one. Okay, and that is that to do with pictograms. It's a pretty tricky last question for sure, but in essence, they're relatively simple questions. I hope you've enjoyed that. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff, but please just get better at doing maths, all right? Take care of yourselves, look after one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.